Hello and welcome back to the Broken Doll. Well, I think you'll agree in this video we might have solved the mystery of the little Ricky doll and all its issues and all my experiments that I've done. It came from one, I'm going to say a gentleman, because the way the name sounds. If I'm wrong, then lady, okay. But the name of the person was called Louie Seconds. Louie 2 with a little s. I think I'm pronouncing it right, Louie Seconds. Anyhow, this person said something that I almost said something the other day about this when I was doing my experiments on the little Ricky doll here, but I didn't know what to say about it, and because I don't know enough about it to say it, I had nothing to back it. And this person came on and said this is what he believes the problem, or she believes the problem is with the doll. And I think they're onto something, and I think it's pretty close to what I'm just pretty sure this is what the problem is. What it is the wood. This wood, the person was saying that the wood could be leaking acid. Now, if we were to look at it in the way that it is in the doll itself, let's take a look. I'm going to get on the other side. I got to move my camera back here a bit. All right, so if we were to look at the doll here, I put the wood back in the neck again, not knowing what I was going to make this video. But, let me see so you can see this here. Okay, so the wood is in the neck here. I've got it in there. And the thing is, if you look where the wood is, and then you see where the problem is around the neck. Now, when it came to the arms, I had problems around the shoulder area, but I also have it on the fingers. You go, well, why is it on the fingers? Well, there's also wood down in the leg. And the leg is also very affected here. Now, it's also affected down at the toe. But we can see that there's been a dribble of something going down. And I think it's on both legs. Both legs have this line going downward where something has affected the feet. So I think when someone told me also that this was a bathtub doll. If that's the case, whatever was in this wood has leaked out onto this doll, sat in the crotch of the doll, into the legs. Because remember I said I found the legs really dirty? Well, there's a hole in the middle of this. So and it goes right through to the other side. So there's a hole. So whatever the water has taken and the wood has leached a chemical from the wood. It could be just a natural chemical, but it didn't like vinyl, and vinyl didn't like it. And this is what we got. And now seeing this, and my Kathy doll by Madame Alexander is of the same structure as this doll. Has the wood, I could feel it up inside the neck. So if that's the case, it's done the same thing. If that's the case, then that could be what's going on. This wood has leached into the neck here, into the bottom here around the belly, climbed up a bit as maybe water was in there. And this is what's happened to the doll. That makes some sense. Now I'm starting to kind of get what maybe's happened to this doll, and maybe I can find something to work with this. So no wonder what I was doing it would do in the water. Like, I mean, when I was doing my polydent, the water lightened it up, but it's just not going to work at whatever this chemical is. I may never get that out. It might be just part of the doll now from here and forever. That's why you see so many of these dolls dark like this. A lot of Ricky dolls and Kathy dolls are of the same material. I should have brought my Kathy doll out, but I didn't. But it's the same thing. All it is the same body, same arms, just a different head. That's it. And the face is just a little bit different. And made with the same material. And she's in the same condition as what little Ricky is. Really makes a lot of sense. This wood has also, in places where water wouldn't get to, it's light. But around this part of it, it's dark. This is where it went up in the head, and here down in the body. So what happened was the water got leaked onto this. So it makes sense. Not saying it's absolute, we're 100%, but I think it's a lot better than what I was going with as far as gas furnaces or cigarette smoke. Because I mean, I'm reaching out for something, and I'm just not getting what I want, And all of a sudden, when he said this, I was like, oh. That makes sense, because if you look at where where it ends, the belly is nice, but then it starts again down in the bottom. And the polydent's just not strong enough to take out that, to absorb that chemical and pull it out. Is there something that can do that? I don't know. That's another story. As to other, no wonder the Barbie doll leg or arm did so well, because it doesn't have wood in it. This doll does. So we're working with something different. And it just makes like bells went off in my head. When I took this leg off, it was full of, it looks like up in this area, and I could feel it down inside the leg as well. One thing about it, they're clean now, the legs are. But the thing I found with it is that it was really grimy inside. Like something had got in there. And you could almost see it inside the leg. It was like a brown substance. I took a rag and was taking some of it out, and it was just like a brown gunky stuff. Now, if it's from the bathtub, old soaps and everything, very well as well. But to hit only particular places, the leg is fine in between, but down at the bottom and here, and this run line that goes down, it just says something to me that something was going on. I really believe it was coming from the wood. The wood is dark in areas. Now, you don't know what soap can do also, but it can pull out of wood as well. So, and we're looking at 1950s soap too, not today's soap back then. Some of it has been taken off the shelves because of chemicals in there that children were in and were using, but today you won't find them today because we got other things and better, and maybe not, I'm not going to say, well, I'll say it, maybe they were a little bit on the dangerous side back then, so maybe not, but I think, because they did what they thought what was best in their day, what was best at the time, and it probably was the best for the time. But we even got better today, I think, and I hope we do, But there has been problems with some soaps and whatnot being pulled off. Johnson & Johnson's one for their baby powder. So we all know the story about the talc. What we thought was fine was not fine. And that's just a recent one, too. So we still have problems today. And there's probably others you can think of as well that I don't know about. So anyways, I think we're on Louis II. Louis II really was on to something here. I really am leaning towards that. You can see right where that plug, where the neck was, would be right here, and that's where all is stained around is the mouth. So it's really something I find that fascinating. I'm glad I did this and brought this to the forefront, because this is what the stuff we want to talk about, try to figure out, getting our minds turning on this type of stuff, and all of us talking, and then we have somebody who just dropped in, and I'm so glad you did, Louis the Seconds. I want to call you Louis the Second. Louis Seconds. I think that's fabulous that we figured maybe something out, and now I want to investigate this wood. What could be in it, maybe, if I can, and maybe if I figure out what is in wood that can leach out with water, soapy water or something. I don't know. I'm going to have to just Google a lot of stuff, just stay up one night, when you're half asleep, and just start typing in stuff, and you figure something, maybe you get a little avenue where you can go down and go, that's something, to work on. But I find it fascinating, very, very fascinating, and something just to put in your doll diary of some thoughts that might be a reason why little Ricky is the way he is. And if somebody ever asks you about, like, I bought this little Ricky doll, how can I get this out? Say, hey, go over to this site here, she'll tell you, or you can just tell them yourself, too. It's nice to know. That's what I like. If I can never get it out, we're just going to live with little Ricky the way he is. Now, I have seen some little Rickies in beautiful shape, just fabulous, and they may never have been put in the bathtub. It could have been just a play doll, and maybe that's why nothing happened to it. I have seen the odd one, and I mean odd. Most of them are like this and worse than mine. I've seen a lot worse than mine. So there we go. You can see it's darkened right back up again. He's all dark again. Everything's back to where it was, all this dark spot. But I'm just saying, it just makes so much more sense than me saying the gas furnace. I mean, I'm reaching for something. And I know what my mother went through with the yellowing in her kitchen and the rest of her house in those old furnaces. And it still could be some of that on there. But I think that part is gone with all what I did with the putting it in the liquid like I did. But this is fascinating. I find it fabulous. And I hope you like this explanation and this new little discovery. So if any of you are up late at night and just want to type in some stuff, get back to me and tell me what you find. Well, thanks for joining me and dropping in. And to all my new subscribers, thank you for for subscribing and dropping in too. So hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up, and leave me a comment what you think about what Louie Seconds came up with. This is not my idea. This was his. I'm not taking taking over what he said. This belongs to him. He's the one that brought this up. So anyways, thanks for joining me. Bye-bye. Oh, I know the word I was saying. I'm not taking ownership of what he said. But I do want to spread it out to everybody and just get your thoughts on it. That's what I meant. Thanks again for joining me. Bye-bye.